Wi-Fi to connect. Should load any second.
All right, folks, good evening, everyone. It is Juan once again. It is Wednesday night. We are with, there he is, Sergeant Corvese, the most recognized police officer in Cranston. Folks, share that you are watching. It is Wednesday night. This is episode 4, Cranston PD Live, on this rainy Wednesday, but the rain is stopping. What is the rain do to the level of crime, Sergeant Corvese?
It definitely has a deterrent effect on it.
That's good.
But unfortunately, it brings out a lot of accidents and bad driving issues. So most people, everybody's human. Nobody wants to stand out in the rain, so they'll stay inside.
Yep.
Have less outdoor crime at least.
Oh.
But the accidents definitely come up, especially in areas of where there's a lot of transient population.
Are you noticing any uptick in drunk driving during the holidays?
Yes, there's definitely been an uptick in that.
Combined with the legalization of recreational cannabis?
Yeah, there's been a lot of phone calls coming into the station about that, and a lot of complaints with people driving under the influence, what to do if you notice somebody that appears to be under the influence of either marijuana, alcohol, or any other type of narcotic or drug, excuse me. If you see somebody that's driving and they're driving slow, they're hitting curbs, they're left of center, just call it in. It can't hurt. It could be an impaired driver, it could be an elderly operator. We can stop them and check it out and go from there.
Medical emergency,
Yep,
whatever it may be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone's struggling. Could save a life.
Could be just a bad driver. There's a few of those out there.
That's right. Any seasonal complaints? People say maybe someone stole something off their porch or the Christmas displays?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of package thefts. I think yesterday we took at least 5 package thefts.
Wow.
During 3 to 11 p.m.
Oh.
But fortunately we caught the guy that was involved in that. So,
wow, targeted individual.
Providence police ended up arresting the gentleman and located a bunch of packages.
Huh.
And we also lodged charges on that.
Wow.
So.
All right.
But that is, like I think I mentioned it before, that it's one of those crimes of opportunity that'll occur during the holidays when there's an influx of, packages being delivered, or people walking down the street, they see a bunch of, packages unattended outside. Just best way to prevent that. And obviously everybody uses Amazon now, so
that's right.
Best way to prevent that is just try to get the packages inside as quick as possible.
And Ring doorbells come in very handy with that type
they're
of
awesome.
thing.
Ring doorbell, Blink, all those, they come in very handy.
Oh. What are the suggestions regarding the Christmas parties?
Just everybody's gonna have family over. Obviously, be careful with alcohol consumption. Use an Uber if you're traveling anywhere.
Yeah.
While using, if you're gonna drink alcohol, Uber is one of the best creations in a long time to prevent any type of driving while impaired and to keep people safe on the roadways this holiday season. And just be conscious of other neighbors around you in regards to noise volumes and stuff like that.
Oh.
We get a lot of complaints with loud parties too during this time of the year. And it's obviously, we don't want to take any action on that when people are getting together for the holidays. We understand, but it's, you know, we got to think of other people around too.
What about, so, folks, again, it is Juan. It is Cranston PD Live. Please share that you are watching. We are riding right now towards Edgewood with Sergeant Corvese. And so there's obviously a big problem up at the Rhode Island State House with those that are unhoused. I do hear from people in Cranston, there's a couple of pockets. I think there's actually one near the police station. How much is that a problem with the police force?
Generally speaking, it's more a quality of life issue.
Sure.
With, you know, obviously the home, it's a tough situation. There's no easy answer to it, or this would have been rectified a while ago.
Right.
It's just a quality of life issue, and, you know, trying to get those people usually that are homeless have a lot of other issues going on, mental health, alcohol, drug abuse, and it's just trying to, you know, get them the resources that they need to help them better themselves and, you know, get out of those predicaments. When it comes to crime, it's not, in Cranston at least, there's not a crazy amount of crime involving the homeless.
Well, you deal with Harrington Hall. So.
Correct. That has its own, you know, there's a lot of other things that are going on with Harrington Hall, but in regards to the homeless, you know, if the one near the station is a little encampment, maybe once in a while you have a crime of opportunity where somebody attempts to steal something, but
they can also be victims of crime.
Correct. There's a lot of, you know, they get victimized. Unfortunately, there's some of them, like I said, have alcohol or drug issues, and they get involved in drug crime and stuff like that. But from most of the people I've dealt with over there in the homeless community, they're very respectful. If you tell them, you know, hey, knock this off or do this, or, you know, help them out somehow, they're very respectful, and you're gonna talk to them like that because they've, you know, obviously one way or another fell in hard times.
Now, Cranston also is going to maybe be moved to, did I see overnight parking? Is that being discussed?
I believe that's something that's going on at the city council level.
Boy.
There's a lot of issues.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it just needs to be well thought out because, well, like our chief had mentioned, there's, you know, first our response to calls, if the street's completely blocked, it's going to lower our response time. Now you're also looking at vehicles, you know, you get a whole bunch of vehicles parked on the street, you know, as opposed to one or two here or there overnight. It's harder to identify stolen vehicles, identify people that are trying to break into vehicles, and those vehicles also can become victims to larceny from the autos. So there's a lot of thought that has to go into it. And I saw one of the proposals, which was parking on one side of the street. I mean, who's one side of the street versus the other? How do you determine that? I don't know. I think it's a good idea, you know, move in the right direction, but that's something that's going to be up to the city council, and they're going to have to think of. So I think they work really hard in Cranston for improving the city and making everything better.
What could some of the Cranston residents do as far as crime prevention?
Basically, it's simple. If you see something, say something.
Sure.
You know, if there's something suspicious, call it in. You know, let us determine if it, you know, meets any elements of any criminal activity or not, or if there's any information that you have relative to criminal activity, call it in. Any tip can help out. You know, there's cases that we have information on. There's cases that we don't have witnesses to. So information can help at all times.
Especially around the holidays. Plus you have all the extra traffic with Garden City.
Yes. Actually, we're going to take a ride over there in a little bit because I want to. It's been very, very, like I mentioned earlier, accidents in transient areas. That's a very, very transient area. A lot of people coming to and from Garden City.
Sure.
So we'll check that out.
Never been better.
It's been very quiet. This is Smith Street over here, so it's been very, very quiet lately.
Good.
We like that.
Folks, thumbs up for Cranston Police with the patrol. That's a good thing. What about people putting their lights on their porch? Lights can be a deterrent.
It's a very good deterrent.
Yep.
Lights are also good because, say, if there's an emergency going on, a lot of people don't know this, but house numbers are very hard to see, especially when it's raining like this.
Right.
See, this is example of if cars were double parked.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't want to
Emergency
come out.
vehicles.
Yeah.
Maybe. Plus, people can. Well, there's a lot of different things. Someone could be sitting in a car, or tougher to determine. Someone's on the street. Folks, again, it's Wednesday night. This is Narragansett Boulevard. This is the line of Providence. Edgewood. There's Providence PD. So it sounds like that theft was a situation where the two departments were working together, Providence, Cranston.
Yes, that's correct. A lot of ordering incidents, we often work together. We have a great working relationship with them. You know, anytime we need their help, they're there to help. Anytime you know they need us, we're there to help them as well. It's a great working relationship. And again, that comes to people coming in and out of Cranston.
Yep. Same thing. Warwick and Cranston seem to work. That's another neighboring city right next door. Seem to work well together.
Absolutely. Everybody. We're a small state, so everybody needs to work together to get the job done. A lot of information and intelligence sharing happens too, which, you know, helps solve cases, especially where there's the same MO in cases and other departments have the same MO, and, you know, incidences like that helps us a lot with the information sharing.
What type of crime do we maybe see over the next couple of months that maybe you don't see June, July, and August? I know one officer mentioned one of the problems sometimes is there's less people outside in the cold, so you get less people that may witness a crime.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that. A lot, like I said earlier, we're all human. So if it's snowing out, cold conditions, you're gonna have people outside less. I would say more or less that you're going to have more issues in regards to mental health and substance abuse during this next few months, well this month specifically. Especially people that are alone for the holidays, they become depressed. So those are the biggest issues coming forward, and that's just a reminder that everybody needs to keep a thought about that for loved ones and friends that may be in those types of situations.
Department gets called out on a lot of mental health calls.
Yes. Yep.
Boy, that's not easy.
No, it's definitely a lot of resources and a lot of time go into that. I think I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, but we have a crisis intervention team, and they will conduct a lot of follow-up with documented people who are documented suffering or suspected to be suffering from mental illness, and they will try to get them the right resources they need to better themselves, or even if it's a quality of life issue, the CIT unit will help with that and try to get them on the right page, maybe work with organizations like CCAP, Gateway, and try to square them up and get them better or help them out in at least some positive way.
Now, I also noticed Cranston Police very involved with toys for children and Santa. Try to be involved.
205.
It's
Could you check the alarm option here? 49 Freeway Drive. Multiple indications. 210, can you follow us?
just a business.
So
sounds like around this time you get a lot of accidental business alarms that come in, and
sounds like a lot of them.
yeah, it's just people coming and going from work when they set the alarms mostly, or the cleaning crew. Yeah, Toys for Tots. We a lot of good events and a lot of community events we take part in. You know, it's all about having a good relationship with the community and setting that model. community policing is huge.
Mm.
Just builds on trust between the police department and the community.
And also the opioid epidemic continues to be a plague on society.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
That's a never-ending battle. Unfortunately, the opioid epidemic, with you got fentanyl out there. It's very, very deadly, potent narcotic,
Terrible.
and it can, if you touch it, you can drop.
Wow.
And it's very, very it's transdermal. You can also ingest it from insufflation, so you can breathe it in.
Wow.
So it's scary, And this is relatively new. I mean, I've been on here for almost 8 years now, and this was not common when I had first started. It was
Right.
it was heroin or cocaine, but now most of the stuff you deal with is fentanyl. Even the cocaine or the marijuana. I've seen people smoke marijuana that were laced with fentanyl.
And what's the effect on them?
Well, it depends on how much is in the substance, but there's multiple effects. They become drowsy, on the nod, shallow breathing, and it becomes scary because then they go into the overdose type of issues, where they become unresponsive, and it's just scary. Scary. That's why if anybody's going to smoke marijuana now, since it's legal, they should definitely get it from somewhere that's regulated, like a Department of Health dispensary, or I'm not sure how they're doing it with the business regulation side, but just so you know where the source is and it's not street stuff that could be contaminated or tainted with it.
Spiked with fentanyl.
Yeah.
I'll monitor sometimes, obviously, first responders. It's frightening the number of, they get a call, 23-year-old individual, breathing but not conscious. Yeah. And think of that, they should be in perfect physical health. And this is sometimes afternoon, early evening, where, boom, suddenly they're out of it. Wow.
It's a scary situation to be to see,
Is that Narcan really changed the face of everything when that came on the scene, right?
Yes. Fortunately, that it helps a lot. However, I also think it gives the notion that it's will always be there to revive you, and obviously it's not. But a lot of people think that with that they could do it more safely. Yep. That is not the case.
I interviewed someone. He had Narcan 6 times in 1 week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He had a problem.
And I mean, if you need Narcan, you're already in a bad situation. You're already close to death.
Right.
That's just a bad. I don't know. That's a bad way to go about it.
And now these recreational cannabis, the edibles, seemingly, it can be a problem with youth.
Yes. Yeah. It's still illegal for anybody under the age of 18. Okay? And it's still a civil violation between the ages of 18 and 21.
Wow.
And then 21 and above, they can possess under 2 ounces.
I'm
going to try to go to some hot spots because it seems like because of the rain, people are driving a little bit more cautiously.
Yes.
Which is good. We like that.
Absolutely. Folks, 6:39. It is Juan. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We are riding once again. Sergeant Corvese. We're right now, this is the intersection of Park Avenue and Reservoir. Heavy congested area for the city of Cranston.
Very congested.
Yeah. Folks, share that you are watching. Thank you for the stars on this Wednesday night. It has stopped raining, so people are going to start coming out.
Yes. Wednesday, there's going to be more people as we get closer to the holiday.
Yes. Is it tough on like a Christmas Eve? What's New Year's like in New Year's Eve in Cranston?
Some days it is. I can't even predict it. It's very busy. A lot of people out there, going from parties or to and from, and we will have alcohol enforcement out there this year.
Good.
DUI enforcement. We do every year. There's a campaign that from the National Highway and Transportation and Rhode Island Department of Transportation. They sponsor a campaign that goes out, so they will be out there in full force and effect. Same thing with Christmas Eve.
Now, how does it work around the holidays as far as, do you have to work one but then you get off the other, or how does that?
It's just dependent upon your schedule.
Okay.
If your work group falls on a holiday, they rotate, every year. So sometimes your group falls on a holiday, you have to work it. Other times it doesn't, and that person, you're off for that day.
Now, do you know yet if you're working New Year's Eve?
I am working New Year's Eve.
Oh, all right.
I'm fortunate enough to
Well,
be
folks, it looks like we got Cranston PD live on New Year's Eve. That'll be a good one.
I will be working New
Wow.
Year's Eve, yes.
Oh, boy.
I am working New Year's Eve.
That could be the marathon.
Yes.
Wow.
Could be the very busy night.
Between 12 and 1, is that busy in the city? Or the whole night, really?
Yeah, well, the whole night it's very
Yeah.
busy.
Folks, thumbs up if you'd like to see Cranston PD live on New Year's Eve.
Thanksgiving has been busy before.
Yes,
Like I said, it's hit or miss.
it is.
Super Bowl Sunday is very busy.
Wow, really?
Often.
Huh.
Except if the Pats are in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that this year.
One night, when the Pats played the Atlanta Falcons, I worked that night.
Work that night of that Super Bowl?
Yep, and there was not one car was on the road. Nobody was on the road.
Good.
But then when the Super Bowl was over,
Yes.
the city erupted.
Oh, wow. Well, it's not, in Boston they tipped over a car, or they set a jumping on cars, so, but that was wild. Now, are the Corvese children behaving with Santa coming?
They are.
All right.
The elf has been flying around my house watching them.
Good.
They are behaving.
That's right. It's after the Super Bowl that there's trouble, or sometimes the whole night.
No, just generally afterwards.
After.
During you won't see a lot of people out during the Super Bowl. Everybody's pretty much hunkered down at the Super Bowl parties and whatnot.
And what about New Year's Eve? Is that a lot of calls alcohol related?
Yeah, a lot of calls for erratic operation on the roadway, or even a lot of disturbances where people get together and one person might not be able to handle their alcohol too well, and issues like that. Families get together and they have family disputes. There's a lot of that during the holidays.
Now, is that tough going in during a family domestic dispute?
Yeah, those are the scariest, not the scariest, but those calls, your officer safety level is heightened.
Yeah.
Because those tend to have a lot of emotional backing in them, and
Sure.
people are very erratic with their thought process in those type of situations.
Oh.
So a lot of officers are killed responding to domestic violence related calls.
Right. Wow.
Domestic violence calls, car accidents, those are two of the top ways officers are killed.
Oh. Well, I know with the troopers, it's a problem with people slamming in as they're pulled over on the side of the highway.
That's why they, I think a lot of them switch the cruiser lights over to blue,
Yeah.
which I personally like the red lights, but they switched over to blue to be a little bit more visible.
So is the blue more visible than the red?
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Okay.
I guess, I like the blue personally. I love the color of our cruisers with the blue and the light setup. So it's kind of, I don't know, I feel like the red was distinct to them though.
Yeah.
doesn't matter what their light color are. They still get the job done.
Right. Wow, and officers responding domestic disputes during the holidays. Wow. Well, that's emotions are running very high, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hearing from a lot of Cranston residents, they like seeing that their city is safely patrolled.
Yeah, we don't stop.
No.
We go all night long.
You have patrolled 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Yep.
Wow.
We
4 a.m.
Steering's all set. Lieutenant. Yep.
Oh, that's fine. Okay. This is the line right here with Cranston and Providence.
Yep.
Surprisingly, there's it's usually backed up over here right now.
Hmm. Good. Keeping the city safe. Look at this. The criminals are staying off the road during Cranston PD Live. This is the biggest deterrent.
Well, you left the other night, and the same thing happened. It got really busy once you left.
It did?
Yes.
After Harvey?
Yeah, no, officer's cruiser got struck, and we
G28
did arrest
Oh.
for DUI.
Supposed to be a Hispanic male with a crew cut, about 5'8". Last seen wearing a maroon and gray windbreaker and a dark gray backpack. Supposed to be yelling at vehicles. Two 09.
This is
Can you handle the G20 again? It was 66 over.
crew cut. There's a nice little cut through to Reservoir Avenue.
Oh. Why would people strike a police cruiser?
This woman was highly impaired.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. She hit one of the mirrors. And I think she took one of the mirrors off on the side of it. But
That was a cold night.
she was very, very intoxicated. Yeah.
Oh.
But like I said, that happened literally an hour, not even an hour after you left.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, can't catch them all.
No. Heard a lot of feedback on your composure, and Harvey A. complied.
That's for you, Penny.
Yeah, I think he was a very nice guy. He
Yes.
fell on hard times.
He
So
did.
I do think that.
Heard from several church groups they liked that the officers let him say the prayer.
Absolutely. You have the right to freedom and religion and right
I only
to
got
free speech.
one atheist that complained about it.
70157.
You have the right to that. It's your First Amendment.
Yes.
70157. That's correct. That will be changed to a 3901.
I'm glad though that he was located before his level increased.
Yes.
Because
Might have been going up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one.
Searching. Oh yeah, we're looking.
Folks, again, good evening on this Wednesday. It is Juan, 6:50. We're riding with Officer Corvese. It is Cranston PD live. Right now we're on Reservoir Avenue. The rain has stopped. Please share that you're watching. You can send stars if you appreciate the coverage. Folks, remember, between a designated driver or car service or Uber, there's no reason for people to be impaired behind the wheel. Not in this day and age. God almighty.
Not worth it. Especially, we are definitely we're in an era where humans are distracted more than ever because of phones or either outside or inside distractions in the vehicle. So add in impairment, and that is just a mix for disaster.
What do you make of some of these vehicles going into a building or a house? It seems very unusual.
Yeah, it is. Again, that goes back to either impairment, distraction, or a medical issue. There's no way somebody's just driving and drive straight into a house without something going on that shouldn't be happening.
Right.
Everybody wants to check their phone to get the message or Snapchat or Instagram. It can wait.
Wait time.
At least nothing, no egregious motor vehicle violations right now. Nothing.
Good.
There's usually something.
Criminals are avoiding the roads when Juan is out with Cranston PD Live. What should Cranston residents do if they suspect some kind of criminal activity is going on? A lot of people want to remain anonymous, but how should they handle that when contacting the department?
Call it in and get a description of what's going on to the person involved or a vehicle. If you can, get a license plate. License plates help a lot. If it involves a vehicle, and if it's somebody that took off, to get a direction that they will last them going, call us and we'll take it from there. Don't follow unless you can do it from a safe distance, or it's a DUI operator that you're behind.
Right. Don't be a vigilante.
Yeah, don't be a vigilante, because you never know what people are armed with nowadays. It's not worth it. Let us handle it from there, and we'll figure it out. It's not worth taking it to your own hands.
No. And people should do the right thing and report any type of criminal activity.
Absolutely.
Even if suspected, let the police check it out.
And then we could, if they're not doing anything, we just clear them and say, hey, you're fine, you're good. As long as we have reasonable suspicion, you can stop somebody, detain them, and talk to them. See, ask them their name, what they're doing, where they're coming from, and where they're going. I believe the statute states we can ask them their places abroad. It's like old English language.
Okay. Now, not to get into specifics, but when I was arriving, there's already someone who's being detained for potentially being intoxicated, and I was surprised that I thought it was early in the night, but there's no such thing.
Yes, that was the result of a motor vehicle accident.
Oh, right.
So that a person's in custody for suspicion of DUI, and the officer at this station will now go through the breathalyzer protocol, which will be, administer a breathalyzer, monitoring the subject to make sure that they don't touch their mouth or, interfere with the test in any way, and then get a breath sample to determine the subject's limit of alcohol consumption or their breath alcohol content.
So it wasn't too early for that individual to get himself into a position where he seemed impaired.
No. It's, sometimes I've seen people that have been DUI at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
Oftentimes that's from the night before, that they're just still out and about, or people that just still start early, or under the influence. Sometimes people take prescription medication under the influence. They don't take it appropriately, and they're driving under the influence. If you take a prescription medicine and it impairs your driving, and on that medication bottle it says do not operate heavy machinery. Right. It's driving under the influence. Depending upon what it is.
And maybe a glass of wine at lunch or whatever it is. And have you come upon, Sergeant Corvese, people that they seem completely out of it and it's broad daylight?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes. People, and it's tough because you're trying to help them out and get them to do, or get information out of them to determine if they are in fact intoxicated or having a mental, having just a generic health issue. Yep. One of the unfortunate is a couple things that mimic intoxication. That's diabetes. If your level is off, you can display an odor of alcohol and display signs of impairment. And multiple sclerosis. That's another thing that will mimic intoxication. So those are things we have to be conscious of. But sometimes the people that are intoxicated are so drunk or under the influence of a drug that just cannot cooperate. We need something here.
One of the viewers is saying that by Bain School, there's apparently a stop sign that people routinely go through. Is that something that you hear about from citizens? Okay.
I'm going to go check it out.
Saying near the Stop and Shop.
Channel 2, please.
I believe that's going to be Trainer Street, Oak and Trainer.
I need a check on 1 King John 485. 1 King John 485. That's Rhode Island. 1 King John 485.
Folks, just about 7 o'clock in the east. Please share that you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. We are once again on this rainy Wednesday night, Cranston, Rhode Island, riding with Sergeant Corvese. This is episode 4. Share that you're watching. Thank you for the stars in advance.
Go ahead.
Comes back negative active on 2015 Concord, last report negative. Minton Melly. Out of date of birth 1/15 of 95. Out of 2 Polar Drive, Arson. Direction Poplar Drive, Arson.
10-4, thanks.
Alright.
This
You're
is a
gonna
good
go.
sign.
We're gonna go enforce it over there.
It must be a challenge and discipline of focus because at any moment something can happen.
Anything.
Yeah.
And when right now it's kind of, I don't want to use the words and jinx myself, but it's slowing down right now.
Right.
Because we have times of the evening when it's very busy. From 3 o'clock till about 5 we were jamming.
Wow.
And with different things going on with different investigative units, and now it's kind of slowing down. When people have dinner, they kind of slow down a little.
Yep.
And then it'll pick up a little bit. There's no saying what exactly will happen, but that's generally how it goes.
Maybe we'll do Cranston PD Live Daytime Edition.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That'd be a really good one. It's very busy during the day.
It is.
Very busy, and not to dismiss any complaints, but generally, right, the less serious things will happen during the day,
Oh, right.
with the more serious things happening during the evening, and
Sure.
of course overnight. I would say there's nobody. If you're awake overnight and you're calling the police, something bad's happening.
Sure.
So I'm gonna take a bet and say this is the stop sign that they were referring to.
Okay.
So we will set up over here.
Wow. See exactly what she said.
Check this out.
Bean School parking lot. I get a lot of people running stop signs. Okay.
Let's say here for a bit. Let's be in school.
Yep. I want to thank, it was Brittany, who is our tipster. Shout out to her. People are saying it's like a racetrack over here. Well, not at the moment.
210.
Let's see.
Could you check the alarm at 101 Tupelo Hill Drive?
Another alarm.
And Juan is out tonight.
That's right.
People
Good.
know.
Good.
Indication is first floor, fourth door.
Nobody's out here because they're watching.
That's right. It's like the Super Bowl. No,
205,
folks, again,
can you
share that
follow
you are watching, everyone. Hey, listen, it's a good sign in the city when crime is low and it's quiet like this.
It might be our good luck charm.
Yes. Good. It's exactly what we want. Yep. We're right over near Bing School. So the afternoon, so when the schools start to get out at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then
I
people
could
are
assume
getting
it's
out of
very
work.
busy. Yeah,
It
very
is.
busy around that time.
Wow.
Over here, Rugby Street, Metropolitan near Cranston West, these areas.
Park Avenue?
Park Avenue, yep. Very, very busy during
The after school.
yeah, after school, morning and afternoon. Give this a little bit then.
Yeah.
'Cause I have the I will admit my attention span might be that of a fruit fly.
All right. Quite all right. I call this crime prevention.
Yes.
Police, you can't underestimate police are deterrents.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Right.
100%. That's the
How?
best thing
By
we
the
can
way,
do.
when Cranston residents, would you like them, if they want to show support, should they give a thumbs up? Should they wave? or does that make you think like, hey, they're waving to that they need help?
No,
What's the best way that
thumbs
people
up,
can thumbs up?
wave.
Okay.
You know, saying hello. Anybody can, say hello. You see us somewhere, say hi. It's good. Talking to the community, introducing people introduce themselves. I oftentimes, if I go somewhere, I'll just introduce myself to meet people.
Wow.
Sometimes they think that I'm asking them because they're in trouble. It's just, no, I just want to talk.
Right.
Say hi, how are you?
That's a question. Do you ride later at night? Well, there's no one up watching later at night. We're finding our way through. I may do a late night, but
Maybe an 8 to 10.
An 8 to 10? Yeah?
Maybe,
All right, we
maybe.
could do that. I want people, this is episode 4. This is all in its infancy, feeling it out. We had, last week, we had people from the UK, Wales, who were watching.
Really?
They sent a message on that. Oh. How's it feel? Do you realize you have an international fan base? This is all in its infancy. Gonna try different times. Oh, there we go. Oh, Brittany was right.
That's 11.
That's 11.
G5 Oaken Duckworth King 920.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some neighborhood complaints over here regarding it. No worries. You got the Christmas music on?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, I'm
So
sorry.
you live right here?
Yeah.
All right. How's your driving history? Good?
Oh, pretty good.
Okay. How long you been in the Navy for? Or you out?
Yeah.
350
Okay.
you know.
No, 2011.
800.
Okay. All right. You just getting home from work or something?
Yeah, got a phone home from the store.
All right. Hold on one second. I'll be right with you, okay? All right, my friend. You all set, all right? Thank you for your service.
Yep.
All right, we're just going to be over here, enforcing that stop sign. A lot of issues with community.
Sure,
All right.
sure.
All right.
That's what I stopped to know about.
Have a good night. What's that? Oh, I didn't catch it. All right, I'll be over there. So he had nothing on his driving history. He's a polite guy, and he is a Navy veteran as well, so I had kind of a soft spot for the armed services.
Definitely.
Doesn't mean they can get away with murder, but I take it into discretion. S11 tonight.
Temporary assault.
Oftentimes you will see though that when there's neighborhood complaints, the people that get stopped are usually the people that live in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
They will. Most of the times, sometimes it's the reporting party.
I noticed that neighbor popped out.
Yeah.
11 up, 2 can you open out?
That's a perfect example of being on goo though. You know, I live right here. Violation occurred over there.
Right. Now, also, sometimes, we talked about this, but people that as you're trying to pull them over, they feel, well, I live right near here, so I'll just make it to my driveway.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea.
They should just pull over right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Two-way also.
What do they think if they make it into the driveway of the garage that means like
Yeah, they're all
a game of tag, as we
Yeah,
said,
they're
like
on
home
Zero
base?
five.
It's not the case.
Can't pull me over, I'm in my
No.
driveway.
No.
53 Garden City Drive, apartment 8, for a 4300 subject. He's spoken with two friends in the past few minutes, making suicidal statement. No known weapons, and a family member is going to try to get additional info.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
210, can you follow him?
Folks, share that you're watching.
Never six.
that's 11.
That's 11.
G5 Trainer and Cedar 576980.
Definitely.
11 doing.
Definitely 11.
I just stopped you because of the stop sign there on Trainer at Maple, okay? Do you have an active license?
Yes, I do. I know it's very number like that.
It's your dad, you said?
It's my mom.
Your mom,
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
What's your first name?
J-U-L-I-N.
Last name?
George.
Your license number? Or do you know, what's your date of birth?
6/7/2000.
Where do you live, over here?
Yeah,
Okay. How's your driving history?
it's my first time.
Okay. No issues or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Alright, hold on one second, okay? So this nice kid, he just doesn't have his license on him. He kind of blew that stop sign.
205 and 210. Be advised, additional info from the RP that possibly that subject may have some type of weapons.
Right, I just did that.
And he's a former military vet as well.
10-4. Did they give you his telephone number by any chance?
Alright, we're gonna head to that garage.
11, I'm following until we hear back.
You can get a telephone number, we can call him outside.
S11. S11.
That's 11.
You clearing the stop, I'll head to that call.
Definitely, Sergeant.
Folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. Please share that you're watching. Folks, if you appreciate the live coverage, we're going to go to another call right now. Please send stars, folks. Please send stars. Again, we're riding with Sergeant Corvese on this Wednesday night.
All right, we're gonna go to that. A military vet that may be suicidal with weapons.
205.
We did get a number, so let us know when you're on scene and if you want us to make that call, try to get him out.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just looking for the apartment.
We stand by till you get a second car there.
Send him out.
10.
We'll try to call this guy out of the residence. It's safer to deal with somebody, take him out of the residence, than go into a residence that's unknown.
Yep.
And we'll try to talk with him, see what his mental well-being is and how he seems, and if he needs to get him some resources or send him to the hospital for an evaluation. But we'll see how it is when we get there. These situations are very delicate, and they can go bad really quick, especially with a military veteran with weapons that is not feeling mentally stable.
He did not pick up. Mailbox is full.
That's 11, I'm pulling up.
Definitely, Sergeant.
Look this person up before I go. Okay.
Folks, share that you're watching Cranston PD live.
I'm just gonna go to the front. If you could come over, but I'm
Okay.
gonna go up there until we know
Understood.
what's
Sergeant Corvese. We have another officer on scene as well. I can hear some voices. There's an officer right there in the doorway. Yes, they do need. We're gonna just, right now it's 7:19. Oh, yeah. Folks, I am, as much as possible, invisible. And especially in a situation like this.
We're speaking with them right now, so
Okay. Thank you.
let me try to find them.
Sure. Right, so folks, sounds like they've made contact with him. There's an officer inside, head officer on the scene. Thank you. It's a tough time. Tough time all the way around. For those that are just tuning in, this is Cranston PD Live. This is Juan. We are once again riding with Sergeant Corvese, and we have a call. Unfortunately, a veteran with access to weapons whose holidays are rough, having some unpleasant thoughts. Cranston police are on scene right now trying to see what the situation, what's up here. Yes. Folks, again, now if you know someone from Cranston, if you type their name in the comments, it should alert them that they can watch. You can also share that you're watching to alert other people they might want to tune in. You can hear some more sirens coming. That's exactly right. You could also, folks, type in where you're watching. I was mentioning we had some people from Wales in the UK that were watching last week. We had last episode, we had Rhode Island, Mass, Connecticut, New Hampshire, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, California, Texas, Florida, Ohio, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Las Vegas. Oh, good. That's exactly right. Cranston PD Live. Thank you for the stars, folks. Well, if everyone watching said, I'd like this type of, folks, we're live, it's unscripted, and we give you direct access with the Cranston Police. So far, this is episode 4. We're getting very good reviews from people. Especially hearing from individuals in other countries. They're fascinated with our law enforcement. The people from Wales in the UK were very, very complimentary, enthusiastic. And a special shout out to them, by the way. Now, folks, remember, if you missed any episodes, just go to the Facebook page and you can watch them. They're all labeled. Episode 1, Episode 2. Episode 2 has 2 parts, A and B. Last week was Episode 3 with Javier, and this is someone from Canada, New Hampshire. Watching from Brazil. Thank you. Warwick. Absolutely. Thank you. Well, of course, Cranston. Cranston should feel very good. I try to, when we're on something, I try to stay back, but folks, you just get a sense that the professionalism, the demeanor, calm, cool. Sergeant Corvese, very level-headed individual. He's got a young family. Shout out to Ashley and Hunter and Talia. Exeter's checking in. Home of the Chafee Farm. Warwick, home of Ladybug. All right, here comes one officer. This could be Sergeant Corvese, actually. We'll see what's up.
Well, he had a loaded firearm next to his bedstand. He's a military veteran, and this is again why I have a lot of sympathy for the veterans.
Yes.
He's obviously going through a tough time. The holidays, a lot of stuff going on, but he's clearly not thinking right. So we're going to hold this firearm for safekeeping, and we just avoided what could have been a very, very bad situation. So this is best case scenario right now.
The other two officers are inside with him.
Yep. They're speaking with him. He's calm. He's a very nice guy, military veteran, tactically trained. Just going through a tough time, tough season. Very nice guy.
Loaded weapon by the bed.
But these are things that we enter the residence and we don't know. This stuff is behind the door, and it could have went really bad. You know, he could have, while we were sitting there waiting to enter, it could have went bad. And we avoided that right now. So we have the rescue coming to check him out. There's a law in Rhode Island now. It's called the red flag law. We'll seize this firearm for now and hold it temporarily for safekeeping. It's called the extreme risk protection law. It's red flag, and he'll be served with a petition from the Superior Court regarding this, and we'll hold it so we can prevent any type of like this type of action happening again. Any type of possible suicidal call or anything like that. I'm just gonna run inside and check on him real quick.
Folks, again, share that you're watching. It is Juan. Just heard they had to move the weapon. There goes Sergeant Corvese. 7:27 on this Wednesday night. Yes, absolutely. And then I believe that he said that first responders are going to come. Try to help folks. Very difficult for people around the holidays, let alone our first responders. Here you see another officer who's letting Sergeant Corvese in. Folks, thumbs up for Cranston Police once again. Calmly, in a peaceful manner, dissolving the situation. What could have been a very difficult situation. I believe this is the first responders, I believe so, arriving on the scene. Oh, that's a bus. All right. Remember, if you know someone in Cranston, you can type their name in. If you missed any episodes, lost an Air Force veteran. Very difficult. Hate to see that happen. Hate to hear about that happening. Folks, it's a very challenging time that we're living in. Well, today is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. It's a very good point. Can hear some sirens in the distance. I believe, I also want to, I'm not trying to editorialize, I believe it was some of his friends. I see some lights coming. What so? I believe some friends of his were the ones that reached out on his behalf. Very possible they may have saved his life. There you go. And we have another officer. What days are we going live? You know what? Right now we're feeling it out. Oh, here we go. Right now we're doing once a week. Now, once a week riding, anything that happens, we're on the scene. Hi, officer. How are you? Very good.
Where are they, over here?
Riding straight ahead. Very good friends watching out for him. First, here comes Cranston Rescue. Nope. So, folks, we are just to back up again. I don't have to talk every moment. Cranston police on the scene. The first responders on the scene. Here comes 3 of Cranston's firefighters. To straight ahead, guys. So to finish, I usually announce it 48 hours in advance when we're gonna do a ride. Right now we're doing once a week, and we may play around with different times of day. We may do an afternoon. We may move it to 8 to 10. We don't know. We're gonna play around with different times. You know what? It'll mostly be during the week. Could be not so much on a Friday night or Saturday night. Folks, you're looking live. Thank you. Well, folks, if you enjoy it, you can certainly... Everyone watching right now sent 200 stars. We are going to meet our Facebook. See, Facebook, it allows us to do this if you hit certain metrics. And it's only going to get bigger. We may do an after-school one. Again, I want to thank. It's a chance to highlight. Obviously, I'm impressed with Cranston Police Department folks. Many argue finest police force in the state. Tough to argue with that. It's not for me to judge. And we also, remember, if you missed episode 1 or 2 or 3, we post them on the Facebook page and also on the website, dpetro.com. We have a situation where we have a veteran on this Pearl Harbor Day. And he was, his friends alerted. And that was a very positive, smart thing to do. He was not, as they say, thinking clearly. They went into the residence. And as you saw them take out, he had a live handgun. Loaded handgun, I should say. You know, I also want to mention that we were following up on the tip on that stop sign, folks. There's an example. If there's things in and around the city that you notice or would like investigated, you could certainly send them to me, ideally in advance, but sometimes we can get there when we get there. Now, a question I get asked is, what about some of the other police departments? Well, I still cover. You know, I was at a stabbing in Providence on Saturday night. I went to, there was a fight in East Greenwich, but by the time I got there it cleared. And obviously we're always checking Warwick. All right, here we have another one. Bateman Avenue, East Avenue, four-way stop sign. Bateman Avenue, East Avenue, four-way stop sign. They fly through it all night. All right, we'll mention that. You know, the stabbing in Providence, those that watched, that was late night. That was a late night. Well, we'll see. I'm not, you know, right now, this is only episode 4 in Cranston. We're going to try some of the different day parts. We're going to, right now I want to thank the police chief in Cranston, plus you have Commander Padalano. There's some curious neighbors. That's all right, I understand. Folks, again, it's Wednesday night. The rain has stopped, by the way. You know, just, what made me ride with Cranston Police was the, well, I'm not riding with anyone else right now. You know, that's a good question. We have some time we can answer that. You know what it was the manhunt. The day of the manhunt. There's someone walking. Yes. Oh, that's right. The day of the manhunt, it was the type of access that we had. I rode with Commander Padalano. We had the mayor of Cranston, Mayor Hopkins, and the chief were very accessible. We were right there on the front lines, and it's all about access. So sometimes, and I completely understand, but you know, the Central Falls, I don't want to second guess. Central Falls, though, that was ended at 9:30. No, 9 o'clock. And they said, we're going to have a press briefing tomorrow. That was State Police in Central Falls. What? In 12 hours from now? I was a little surprised at that. I was very surprised at that. I want to mention Warwick's very accessible. Providence is very accessible. By the way, Pawtucket patrol people are. I've also been to crime scenes in Woonsocket, very responsive. Pawtucket. North Kingstown, we were there with the search. So it was really because of the reaction with the Cranston manhunt that I thought, you know, let's play this out a little bit. Folks, so I think you see the bodies moving up top? Meaning some individuals. All right, so here they come. We're going to follow their lead.
Now we're going to bring that firearm to the station and fill out some paperwork. And this gentleman's going to be on his way to the hospital to get the treatment and evaluation he needs.
Okay.
No. 238 Magdalen Street for a threats complaint. Suspect is not on scene.
Voided
Wow.
one right there.
Big time.
It's exactly what I had mentioned earlier. A tough time, the holidays, and
Excellent. Stand by for a second.
10-4. Yeah, I went through. Yeah. Yeah. So he's a military veteran. He joined right before the Twin Towers went down, and he experienced a bunch of combat tours, and he's been through it. So it's unfortunate. It takes a toll on people, and like the gentleman had mentioned, that during the holidays, it's just not easy.
We believe the call came in from friends of his, which that sounds like that was the right thing to do.
Yep. So he had made some comments to some friends that were concerning. We showed up. He was very, very cooperative. He was sitting in a chair. He said, you know, I have a loaded gun. It's right next to, on the stool next to my bed. I'm fine right now. Talking with us, very, very nice guy, and just suffering some mental health illness. And
Sergeant, you said, I mean, this time of year around the holidays is when it can really pick up. Plus the anniversary of Pearl Harbor tonight.
yeah, you know what? That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Just, you don't want to see anybody go through that type of stuff.
Oh. And you said sometimes these situations can go kind of sideways very quickly.
Yeah. I have a lot of friends in those that have been in the military. I have a great friend I work with, Sergeant Alfonso. He's been in those battles, and especially in Iraqi freedom. And he tells me, he goes, it's not easy. He helps a lot with the Marines and the military veterans, and he tells me what they go through. And it's just, I don't wish it upon anyone. But that gentleman's going to be safely transported to the hospital. Hopefully he gets the right treatment he needs to take care of himself and better himself with these issues. Firearm, we took the firearm, and we're going to hold it for as part of the red flag law, prevent any type of harm to himself or others.
Is it fair to say it changes the dynamic?
Yes.
Like we instantly, as soon as you heard that, we instantly headed over there. So it changes the scenario when it's one thing someone says something, but he actually had something in the inside.
He, you know, if we caught this guy at the bad time, or he was having an episode, it could have went really bad. And no fault of his own. No fault of his own. It's just something that he's going through.
Right.
And we prevented that. We talked to him calmly, talked to him nicely, and you know, just communicate. He's a human. We're a human. That's all you got to do. the end of the day, you take the uniform off, you throw it away, and you talk to somebody one-on-one and try to get exactly what they're going through.
Oh.
Show them that somebody cares and try to help them out.
208.
But you never know what's on the other side of the door sometimes when you enter.
1261 Cranston Street.
If someone is watching,
209.
what did his friends? What's the proper way that they approach the dispatcher with Cranston Police?
Just you can just call and say, hey, I have the biggest information that you want to give to the dispatcher is if the person's armed or not.
Okay.
It just helps us gauge the situation or approach it the way we need to approach it.
Right.
Because just like we want the person to be safe, we want to be safe as well. We want everybody around to be safe. We don't want nobody to get hurt.
208
Best
and
way to
209. Be advised, it's a father-son physically fighting. Female caller actually asked for rescue and then she hung up.
We're gonna stop by this one as well. Now we got people fighting.
Yes, for 10. Cars responding to the Cranston Street for that disturbance. Be advised, CFD is notified and responding, and they'll be staging.
Folks, share that you're watching Cranston PD Live.
Great.
S11. What's the 20 on that? 1261.
There's autistic. Cars on Cranston Street, use caution. One of the subjects may be armed with some type of weapon. They're trying to get them to put it down.
All right, stay right there. S11, put me out there.
Okay, for such.
All right, folks, share that you are watching. It is Juan. We're going to follow it was Sergeant Corvese asked us to stay here.
Hey, can we pull open the door? We're on the line. We're trying to get her open the door.
We have a fight, and we have a possible armed suspect. We are, I believe, on Cranston Street.
Guys on Cranston Street, be advised that subject is armed with a knife.
All right, armed with a knife. Folks can watch this response.
No problem, we'll go ahead. Step for Sarge. Another year from here. There's also a machete and a firearm inside that residence. S11, you have the year. That's 1 detained. That's 11 reporting 1 detained.
All right, folks, share that you are watching. Boy, heavy odor of cannabis here. We have a report of a fight. Someone's got a knife, a machete. Possibly another weapon. This Cranston fire have just pulled up. All right, you can see the officers right in the front. Hey guys. Now, folks, you can hear them talking to the suspect. Folks, you're watching Cranston PD Live. Share that you're watching. At 7:55 in the east, we're in Cranston. We had a report of a fight. You see Cranston police on scene. We don't know who. One individual supposedly had a knife. There's a machete in the home. It could have been another weapon as well. Oh, folks, we got an arrest. You can see he's being apprehended right there. Well, folks, good evening, one and all. It is Juan on the scene. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We have a situation where we are bringing one person into custody. We are right off of Cranston Street. Is Sergeant Corvese. We have one suspect in the back of that second police car. Folks, please share that you are watching. Remember, if you know someone in Cranston, you can type in their name in the comments and it should come up. This is episode 4. We've had a very eventful night. 2, 3, 4. So you have both Cranston police and first responders. Here comes another individual. You can go to the page and see episodes 1, 2, and 3, or you can go to petro.com. We started the night before Thanksgiving. Folks, remember, if you are enjoying this and like our live access coverage, you can send stars.
Unless you don't know what stuff is, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We'll get a full recap from Sergeant Corvese after this, but came in as some kind of a fight. Someone, I believe there was a weapon, a knife. Then there was a report there could have been a machete. Yes, they have them on the page. There's 2 from the night before Thanksgiving, and then we were out last week. Javier. We also have them posted on the website, dpetro.com. It's episode 4 tonight. Been a very eventful night. Folks, please share that you are watching. Thumbs up if you are enjoying Cranston PD Live. So here you have another. This is the first time we've seen this suspect that was in the car. Looks like he could be going into the ambulance rescue. Folks, thank you for the stars on this rainy Wednesday. It is Juan. We're looking, so that's City of Providence, Mutual Aid, sent their rescue over. So we'll find out, we'll get a recap from Sergeant Corvese. If he's being treated, or he's in the rescue, got a report of someone with a knife, it was a fight. Juan is not a detective, but I would have guessed that, yeah. And he had been sitting in that police vehicle. I believe that's Sergeant Corvese talking with him right now. They do mutual aid, for those that are wondering why we're seeing the Providence Rescue here in Cranston. We are in Cranston. There was a Cranston fire engine that pulled up in front. Very busy tonight. Yep. Make sure you're following the page, folks. Click the like button. Thank you for the stars. I don't know. We're going to find out. I know we have a firearm that was recovered that Sergeant Corvese has to return to the Cranston Police Department. There's Sergeant Corvese right there. Folks, thumbs up if you are, or one and all, if you're enjoying this coverage. This is real access. We had, for those that are just coming in, some kind of disturbance. The weapon. We have one person in the back of the cruiser to your far right of the screen. And then we have who we believe was the victim who's being treated inside this rescue. We're right off of Cranston Street. This is Cranston PD Live, since it was a Cranston call and we are in Cranston, and that's Cranston Police. I think Sergeant Corvese has gone back into the domicile, residence. Thank you. If you like the coverage, send 200 stars. If you love the coverage, send 300 stars. If you say, now this I like, send 500. I want to remind people, if you missed Cranston PD Live, Episode 1, It's on this Facebook page. Same thing with episode 2. 2 is 2 parts. That was the shootout on Smith Street, and then episode 3 was with Harvey A., and that's also on this page. The stars support the program. There's Sergeant Corvese going inside the rescue. Folks, and if someone could type in the comments, Cranston PD Live. Hi there. Right, so we got another suspect in handcuffs, so maybe he was being treated. We'll find out from Sergeant Corvese.
We're out of here. So,
Busy night.
busy night. So that was a domestic argument between the mother's fiance and her son. The fiance got into an argument. Fiance got into an argument with his soon-to-be wife. The argument got heated. He broke some things. He's a big guy. The son came in to protect the mother, but grabbed the knife and went at the fiance, the soon-to-be husband. And nobody was hurt. We had people cleared by rescue, so there's no injuries or anything like that. We prevented anything serious from happening, and they're both in custody now at this time for domestic-related offenses. So we'll go from there.
All right. Folks, that's Sergeant Corvese.
S11.
S11.
310-8 from this location.
Careful.
Back-to-back incidents involving weapons.
Both brought it into custody.
Both brought into custody. They
Wow.
both were mutual combatants, and they both, they're in a domestic relationship. So
Yeah. Boy. Tough.
yeah,
208.
and that's
Now, the son, he went into the rescue.
Yep, he just went to get checked out because he was sweating profusely, and
Wow.
once we take somebody into custody, we own them.
Yeah.
And that means we are responsible for their well-being.
Right.
So we want to make sure that nothing happens to them. Just simply get them to face the charges that they're brought against them, and that's it. So we want to make sure they're all right, they're in good health. If they have any complaints of pain or suffered any injuries, get them the right treatment they
208.
need.
Joy.
He was a big guy.
Hey, you clean up?
Yes.
Negative, I'm gonna be tied up on this phone. When you do clear, that female from earlier is in the lobby at G3.
All right, folks.
S11.
Go ahead, Sergeant.
Is it something that can come back tomorrow? He's going to have to in custody.
All right, we're going to return that weapon. So, folks, I think we're going to sign off on this Wednesday night. Been a very eventful night. Thumbs up. We want to thank Sergeant Corvese. We'll have a full recap on the website as well, folks. But thumbs up. Once again, great job, Sergeant Corvese. Very eventful.
Very eventful last hour.
Wow. All right, folks, thumbs up. Episode 4 of Cranston PD Live.